The border, no doubt, will be a focal point tonight in the presidential debate between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris in Philadelphia. Again, a reminder, you can watch it live streamed, simulcast here on Newsmax. So pleased to bring in right now Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody to talk about the issues here and the impact on the lives of Floridians. Welcome in.
Great to be with you.
You know, we talk about every state being a border state. You know, we do see people coming in on the shores of Florida, and you were actually calling out just the amount of drugs and the drug bust you had recently. I mean, this is devastating. We talk about fentanyl and the effect here, and it seems no end in sight. If anything, it's just emboldening cartel members to do more under this administration.
The lack of leadership coming out of Washington during the Biden-Harris administration has been devastating to our country. And the more and more information that we uncover as we litigate so many of these cases against the Biden-Harris administration is shocking to those of us in law enforcement, and especially those whose families have been harmed by those allowed into this country that have committed criminal acts. And one of the things I talked about last week is that we've now uncovered that in the middle of this drug crisis, this extraordinary drug crisis that takes over 100,000 lives each year, not only have they let in millions flow into our country that have been barely vetted. As you know, many people have gone on to commit crimes and they were processed through and welcomed in. We're now finding out that drug traffickers that were captured either on the high seas or in other countries that were brought here to be prosecuted and sentenced and put in our prisons because they were such a danger, instead of being deported by this administration like presidents have done, Democratic and Republican alike, they're now being taken from prisons and pushed back into our states by this administration. This is the kind of information I fully expect should be discussed, because this is what's happening right now as we speak. This is what's affecting families. This is what's affecting those of us in law enforcement trying to keep our communities safe.
And tomorrow, 23 years since 9/11, and we know that the small number of people it takes to pull off something so devastating. And even the FBI director, Christopher Wray, says it's never been more dangerous. The red lights are blinking. Joe Biden's been at the beach. He's been on vacation. Kamala Harris has been there step by step as they've dismantled the border policies under Donald Trump. And yet somehow the media gives them a pass through all of this, Ms. Moody.
And when you hear about this, how do you hear about it? You hear about it from the FBI director testifying at Congress. You don't hear about it from President Biden or Vice President Kamala Harris, who allowed this to happen, standing at a podium advising the American people that they have let in hundreds on the terrorist watch list and that they've let go and processed into our country almost 100 that they haven't recaptured. They haven't been able to track them down. If you truly care about protecting the American people, and you truly understand your job as commander-in-chief is to protect the sovereignty of this nation and the Americans you pledged to lead, you would be standing at a podium saying, this is what has happened.
Right.
We want Americans to be on alert, and we can solve this if we can track them down, but this has happened. And they will not do that because they have to admit they have been derelict in their duties.
They have been, and the oath to the Constitution. Well, as an attorney general, you know, you follow the letter of the law here. Just your reaction to this newly discovered questionnaire. It's been released. In 2019, Kamala Harris supported taxpayer-funded gender transition surgeries for detained immigrants. So not only are they coming here and getting put up in hotels, they're, you know, getting prepaid debit cards in some sanctuary cities. Oh, now she actually supported gender reassignment at the taxpayers. People can't afford gas and groceries.
This is just the typical approach that we're seeing, not just at our border. We're seeing this in our states and our cities. Once thriving, safe, prosperous cities are now losing residents at a clip that we've never seen because they're placing criminals and those that break our laws and those that you know, require so much public assistance and taxpayer money. They're putting that over law-abiding American citizens and their safety. It is really extraordinarily